Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome to our spring 2022 first gen undergraduate student panel. Today we'll have some of our participants and tutors who are upper division, so they're all third years, fourth years, maybe some fifth years, sharing their experiences. They're from different majors, so they'll be telling you what they wish they would have known when they started Cal Poly, what they took advantage of, like what resources they connected with. And then we will have time at the end for some question and answers too, if y'all have any specific questions. But I do want to acknowledge that Cal Poly Pomona resides on the traditional territory of the Tongva people. And I also want to acknowledge the people of Ukraine, both Ukrainians and those from other nationalities that are in Ukraine who urgently need our continued support as a global community. And we will be recording this, so if you have any questions or if you know someone who wasn't able to make it, they'll be able to access this through RAMP's YouTube page. So without further ado, I will hand it over to our moderator, Anthony Tran Fan, who is a RAMP participant and was a panelist himself last year.
Thanks, Denise. So my name's Anthony, and I will be moderating our panel today. So I guess we can get started with introductions. So if I could ask all of our panelists to share their name, their major, and their year, starting off with Abigail.
Hello, my name is Abigail Flores. I'm a biology major, and this is my fourth year at Cal Poly.
Next, we have Christian.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian. I'm a computer engineering fourth year major here at Cal Poly Pomona.
And next, we have Jane.
Hi, my name is Jane Blumhoff. I'm a fourth year animal science general major with a minor in agribusiness.
Michael.
Hey everyone, my name is Mike Bien, and I'm a kinesiology major with my fourth year.
And then finally, we have Winnie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Winnie. I'm currently a fourth year urban and regional planning student with an emphasis in urban design.
All right, thank you guys for introducing yourselves. So we'll kickstart off with the panel with the first question, which is, consider some of your earliest notions of college. What are some of the reasons you decided to attend college? And were there any specific individuals who helped make your decision? And we'll have everyone answer this, starting with Abigail, followed by Christian, Jane, Michael, and finally Winnie.
So I'll start, I guess. So my earliest notions of college was, I guess, when I applied for college, I was able to get into the EOP program, and with the EOP program, it helped me a lot. It gave me the opportunity to join, to do summer bridge in Cal Poly, and would be my earliest notions of college. This is where I got introduced into this program, RAMP, and where I was able to experience and live on campus for just 2 weeks. But I'm always grateful for that opportunity, because I didn't know about Cal Poly. A reason why I chose this school was not because of the name of the college. I really didn't know much about the Cal States or Cal Poly, that there was a school in Pomona. And a reason why I chose this school was because a friend who got accepted to UC Irvine said that if he didn't get into the UC Irvine, his backup school was Pomona. And he was like someone I admired and was very smart. So I was like, okay, I'll take his word. And my uncle's wife, she goes to Dominguez Hills. She also mentioned, oh, it's a good school. So I was like, okay, I'll go. I really don't have a major reason why I chose this school besides those two people who helped me make the final decision. Yeah.
Next, we have Christian.
Awesome. Once again, hey everyone. So pretty much my earliest notions of college. So going back to, like Abigail mentioned, I actually also was part of the EOP program, and I attended the summer bridge program. And that's how I found out about RAMP. And pretty much because of EOP, I was able to branch out into and make connections and network with people on campus. And that's how I was pretty much able to establish myself pretty much very early on within the campus community. And so yeah, that was it for that. And then reason why I wanted to attend college. Well, my parents were real advocates of me going to college and pursuing a degree that was worthwhile, and that's where computer engineering came in. Future-proof degree that I wanted to be able to, help innovate within that field, and so that's pretty much how that started. And pretty much specific individuals, pretty much my mom and my parents, and pretty much my teacher, Mr. Chow, in high school, huge advocate in us pursuing what we wanted to pursue and be successful in what we wanted to do. And along with some great friends that are very encouraging. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that.
And we have Jane going next.
Hi everyone. So my earliest notions of college were a little vague in the beginning. I wasn't sure and I didn't know about the specifics of college until my junior year of high school, when I started going on like college campus tours. And when I was starting college, high school, college wasn't even a concept to me because I was so in the moment in high school. And then junior year just kind of snuck up on me, and I started hearing about these college campus tours, and I thought, I really want to see what this is about. So after being bombarded with information, I kind of decided then and there that I wanted to pursue higher education. And I became part of the EOP program and then part of RAMP, and I was also part of Summer Bridge. So I am extremely grateful for that opportunity because those 2 weeks really opened my eyes and they gave me the chance to become familiar with the campus. And when I reflect, most of all, I wanted to attend college to make my parents happy, to make them proud. My parents always wanted me to have the education that they never got the chance to receive. So they always encouraged me, they always supported me throughout everything I wanted to accomplish throughout high school. And that never wavered throughout my college career as well. I also had a counselor in high school who helped me so much during my senior year with what major to declare, what school to go to, financial costs, distances, and et cetera, et cetera. So I always attribute everything that I've been able to accomplish in college so far to my high school counselor's guidance and my parents' unconditional support.
Michael?
All right. So, earliest notions of college. I didn't really have any. Honestly, it was just like I was in high school. My counselor was like, "Hey, there's college," and then my parents was like, "Oh, there's something after high school." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess we're doing this now." So it was like implemented into me as a kid or like when I was in high school. But then it kind of worked out for me because I'm not going to say that college is for everyone because it isn't. You can, there's certain paths in life where you could take where college is necessary, and that's completely fine. And there's some that are necessary. Luckily I found the path I wanted here in college. I wanted to become a physical therapist, and luckily, college is getting me through that. And I learned so much by coming through here. So yeah, in the beginning, didn't really know anything about it, but it's honestly, you get to learn about it as you're in college. You understand more about it when you're like in the motion and experiencing it for yourself. So, if you're coming in and not knowing what this environment is, it's fine. We all have those, anxieties or nerves saying that, oh, do I actually belong here? Do I not belong here? I remember I had those crazy, but yeah, eventually, you learn and you experience new things. So yeah, I would say it's a pretty good experience if need be.
And finally, we have Winnie.
Hello, everyone. So my earliest notions of college. I honestly always knew that I wanted to go to college. Starting high school, a lot of my teachers often talked about college. They always guide the students on like what to take during high school in order to be able to apply to colleges. But during my junior year of high school, I was facing some difficulties, and I was eventually admitted to the foster care system. And that made it really hard on me personally because I feel like I didn't have any guidance on like where to go because none of my family members are they don't have any like experience with higher education in in America. So when I got into the foster care system, I was really lucky to meet some really great people. For example, my social worker and my CASA advocate, who strongly advocated for me to apply for colleges. At first, I didn't really know what to expect out of college and how I would finance it. I always thought that I should be going to community college first and work in the meantime to pay for college, right? I didn't know about FAFSA, but I had some great people guiding me through that. So they were the people that helped me make my decision to apply to Cal Poly. They helped me a lot. I feel like in kind of learning like what type of colleges I can go into, what type of funding I can get as a foster dependent, I guess, word of the court. And that really helped me a lot. But a lot of my family members were also really supportive of pursuing higher education because they know that it's a way to become successful in life. They wanted me to go to college so that I can get a better career and stuff. And I'm also really lucky because my CASA advocate, she told me to apply for EOP, and the summer before I went to Cal Poly, I was really lucky to be able to participate in the Summer Bridge program, where I actually met Abigail and Jane. During the program, we stayed on campus for 2 weeks. I was able to experience what college life is about. We went to tour around the campus. We went to live in the dorm, and I met really great people during the program. So I was really fortunate for that. But yeah, that's some of my earliest notions of college, some of my reasons why I wanted to attend college, and specific individuals that helped me make the decision to eventually attend Cal Poly. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. So our next question is, think back to your first semester at Cal Poly Pomona. What stood out to you? And if you faced an obstacle during your first year, how did you resolve it? And we'll have Michael start us off.
Oh man, my first semester. It's so crazy though, so long ago. But yeah, it was just, oh man, it was just a whole different environment from high school, to be honest. It wasn't like, oh, you get homework every single day, you attend, like these classes are set out for you, you already have your schedule, don't worry about it, you're done. But in college, it's just so different. You gotta register for your own classes. You gotta, time out when you're gonna do your homework. You gotta time out when you're gonna go to classes. How are you gonna get in classes? Your parking permit, you're this, and it's like a lot of responsibility kind of thrown on you that you're not really prepared for after high school. So it was just like that adjustment period. And there is gonna be an adjustment period, don't let these things kind of scare you off, because eventually you're gonna get the hang of it, and eventually you're gonna understand how to work certain things and how to take certain shortcuts on other things. So there's that. And then what's faced on obstacle. One obstacle that I'm faced before and I'm facing now is just accepting that it's a new chapter in life. high school, I feel like high school is a chapter in everyone's life. And after that, that's when a new chapter begins. And this is just another chapter that I was kind of, I had some fear, I had some nerve. I was nervous about it because, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to play out. But all right, now another chapter is going to begin in my life. And it's like, kind of getting that feeling from when I started college. Now I'm getting out of college. So, you know, that was the biggest obstacle. But sometimes, got to grit your teeth and you got to push forward because, if you let your fear control you, then honestly, you're not going to get anywhere in life. But, you can push forward and, use that fear to use that fear to push.
Next, we have Jane.
So I totally feel what Michael is saying about how when you're thinking back to your first semester and it just feels so long ago. So when I think back to my first semester at Cal Poly Pomona, I always remember the feeling that I had, and it was the feeling that always loomed over me, and it was the feeling of being a small fish in such a huge pond. I really felt like I was in over my head at that point because I was juggling through a lot, adjusting to the transition of high school to college, like Michael's mentioning. Um, navigating through a new campus, and I was having doubts about my major. So the biggest obstacle that I faced during my first year at Cal Poly Pomona was definitely the doubts about my major. Because I took an orientation to animal science class my first semester, and an advisor presented to me about vet school. So after that, I took a step back and I reflected and I kind of delved into more research about vet school. And after I did that research, I ultimately decided that it just didn't seem like something that I wanted to pursue anymore. So I wasn't just gung ho about being a veterinarian and getting that DVM. So I immediately talked to advisors because I was lost on what to do. Because I wanted to stay in the animal science field, but I didn't want to go the vet school route. And an advisor told me that I should just switch to general because that would allow me to stay in the animal science field without the pressure of kind of going to vet school. Um, and it would give me a lot more options. So after my first year, I switched to general, and I'm very happy that I did so because now I'm working towards working with farm animals and the agribusiness field. And I never would have gotten to that point if I had just never reflected and I just went the pre-vet route and I just stuck to it. Yeah.
Then we'll have Christian go next.
All right, awesome. Thank you. And so pretty much for this question here, thinking back to my first semester here at Cal Poly Pomona, um, it was definitely something to get adjusted to. Something that I struggled with was time management. I think everybody struggles with time management, but it is very much prevalent, and you need to get ready for that. Because I know my time management was pretty bad at the beginning as well. And so pretty much some things I made a lot of connections my first semester. I joined a club called Ship, and pretty much it's a club that advocates to network with individuals in engineering to be able to land an internship. So I started doing that early on, and eventually it led to me landing one. A couple years later. So I will be starting an internship this summer. So it's what you do your first year that it's very important that you get involved as soon as you can, stepping out of your comfort shell. That way, you'll be able to successfully be able to handle a lot of what's thrown at you, and be able to come out successful in whatever you want to do. And pretty much, yeah, the biggest problem, time management. It didn't happen when I first. It didn't get better until after my second year, to be honest with you. After I had to retake my calculus class because my time management was not good. So that was a problem that I needed to fix, and eventually it led to me, improving. And after landing a couple roles on campus, this is where I'm at currently right now. And so with 1 year left, I'm looking to get my full-time job, and that's pretty much the issue that I had, time management.
Congrats, Christian. It's great to hear that.
Thank you.
And then finally, we'll have Abigail go last.
So thinking back to my first semester at Cal Poly, what stood out to me was feeling alone and being alone because for me it's not in the sense of like I have to do this on my own now. As the oldest in my family, I always dealt with handling more like affairs like taxes, translating papers to my parents, all those things that made me feel and mature. And because because I was close to home and I was with my family and with my brother and sister, I had people with me and my friends. But after high school, all my friends like went to different colleges, they had different paths. It's not like we didn't stay friends, we're still friends. It's just that I don't have them with me anymore. And my family, they were not with me anymore in the sense that I was going into a like Michael mentioned earlier, a chapter in my life that no one has gone before. Not my siblings, not my family, not my parents or my friends because they were also first gen. So I was on my own. I felt alone, and I was not so social, and I was like, I was very antisocial, and so also going to college made me realize I have to get out of my comfort zone. Like I like to keep to myself, and I was always to myself. So going into college, it made me realize I have to um speak up more, talk more, because this was something new that I didn't have experience with, and no one around me had experience. And that's was one of the things I kind of faced, not time management. I was those habits of time management and having being organized was always hammered into me. So that was not something I struggled, but was struggled more was not feeling alone and being able to talk and take advantage of everything that was available to me, because I would be one, like if something bothered me, I would just endure it and like not speak up. But I knew this was something different, because if, for example, if I failed a class or if I was struggling, I couldn't just stay quiet. I had to talk. So because of college and meeting new people, and it made me leave my comfort zone and talk and get to know new people and take advantage of resources.
Awesome. Thank you guys for talking about your struggles. It's not always easy talking about your vulnerabilities and obstacles. But that leads into our next question, which is, did you experience any anxieties upon entering the college environment? And we'll have Winnie and then Abigail answer this.
Hi again, everybody. So when entering college, I definitely had a lot of anxieties. Like Abigail, I was a very, very shy person. I was very closed off. And I think this was part of my trauma that I experienced back in high school. I felt like I didn't belong in Cal Poly. I feel like I wouldn't be able to relate to anybody. I just felt like lonely a lot of the time. But then I was able to connect with this program called the Renaissance Scholars on campus. And they serve the foster youth on campus who are students like myself. And I was able to also connect with RAMP, where I was able to meet other people. Eventually, I learned to be able to socialize with other people, because I learned that there are a lot of people who are like me, who are struggling as first generation college students, as former foster youth, being in college with no family members who know about the college environment. And I was also able to come out of my shell. I feel like I was able to socialize more with people. I was able to connect with my professors, which lessened my anxieties about being in college, about participating in class or whatnot. So yeah, definitely. Sometimes we just have to step out of our comfort zone and learn to be more proactive in taking steps to improve. And that helped me with my anxieties. Thank you.
So for me, my anxieties upon entering college was that in high school, I feel like the teachers there were really giving a misconception. They're depicting a picture of college as something so hard, and for me, I took it so seriously that I thought I was going over my head. And because I did feel alone sometimes in the sense with my family, I was scared of going into college and then failing because I heard stories from my teachers and friends who had gone who were like a year older than me and have gone to college that they would fail their classes. They didn't do great in classes. They would just not time manage and fail classes. So I was afraid that I would fail a class or in the eyes of my family be a failure. And so yeah, that's what I experienced.
All right, so for our next question, to what extent did you feel like you belonged at CPP? When did you feel like you belonged? And what kind of factors increased your sense of belonging at CPP? And we'll have Jane start us off.
So, hi again. So I didn't really get involved in activities on campus other than ramp during my first year because I was a little bit scared to put myself out there. But joining ramp was my first instance in which I really felt like I belonged. Um, Caitlin, who is here today, she was my tutor, and I remember enjoying every session and experiencing the welcoming atmosphere in the office because Dustin and Denise would always say hi to me. I saw all the tutors getting along in the office, and when Caitlin would sit me down in our sessions and ask me how I was doing, how my classes were going, I really felt like I belonged and I felt acknowledged. Even now, I get these bouts of feeling like I belong. And some of those instances are when I'm tutoring and I have a tutee that kind of lights up because they've learned something new or I'm able to guide them to a resource that they needed. It makes me feel amazing because I'm so happy to have been a part of that process. There's also a professor within my major that I've had for multiple classes that's made me so excited to learn and eager to participate in class. She's extremely patient, she's very thorough, and when you get an answer correct in her class, you can just tell that she's very, very proud that you knew it. So when that happens, I feel acknowledged that for knowing the material, and it makes me even more eager to learn and read the material. So I'm extremely grateful for meeting and coming across all of these people within my 4 years here at Cal Poly Pomona because they've truly made me feel like I belong at Cal Poly Pomona.
Christian?
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you once again. So for this question here, to what extent I felt comfortable at Cal Poly? I felt pretty comfortable as soon as I stepped into campus. I feel like EOP really did a good job of just, making me feel like I belong here. And I feel like Cal Poly is so diverse that I don't feel like I don't belong here at all. Like I do belong here. Like it's just so diverse with people. And it's just I really like it. And pretty much there was a lot of individuals who made me feel welcome right off the gate. I joined a program called Project Success, in which they help males of color, be able to succeed and get comfortable on campus as well. And I had my own mentor, and I met people there that also are still friends to this day. That I'm still friends with to this day. And I felt comfortable just going in within the first few weeks, and including within SHIP. I was part of the mentorship program in which I was paired up with a mentor, and pretty much that mentor introduced me to all of his friends. And so they were all the same major as I was. And this was all in like the first semester. So I felt pretty comfortable very fast on campus. And just the resources that the EOP provided by the first year, such as EOP tutoring, that I was pretty much set on being comfortable with seeking help in the subject. And so, yeah, just a thank you to those people.
So for me, when to the extent I felt I belonged in Cal Poly was, I think, being on campus, like Christian said, seeing how there was different people that kind of looked like me. I did before I accepted to go to Cal Poly, I was going to go to a private university that they claimed they were diverse, but when I went to on campus tour, it was not really diverse. But when after thinking about it and reflecting on that and then seeing Cal Poly, I was like that Cal Poly is more diverse. Like there's there's so many different types and there's so many people there, and I was able to find people who are just like me, first gen, Mexican American, and I feel like EOP. I feel like a lot of us here felt like that. It was because of EOP and because of Seche, a cultural center on campus, and RAMP that I felt that I belong.
Finally, we have Winnie.
Okay. For me, I think participating in, like I said, the Renaissance Scholars and RAMP really helped me feel like I belong at Cal Poly. My freshman year of college, I actually lived at the dorms, so I felt like I was alone a lot of the times. I feel like I didn't belong. I had nobody to talk to. So my first semester, that sort of affected my grades. Honestly, I was really anxious about attending classes because I didn't know anybody. I also lacked social skills back in my freshman year of college. But then I was able to join RAMP. I started tutoring with Caitlin. So she was one of the first people that I got to know really well during my college year. So thank you for that, Caitlin. I really appreciate it. And then since then, I was able to join RAMP as one of the tutors and be able to connect with the other tutors and make some more friends. So I feel like I am really grateful for all these programs, EOP, Renaissance Scholars, and RAMP, who made me realize that I'm not alone and that there are people that I can talk to and find support. Yeah, thank you.
So for our fifth question, describe your involvement on campus for your first year at CPQ. How has your involvement changed, and does increased involvement influence your sense of belonging and or your academic success? And we'll have Christian and then Winnie answer this question.
Awesome. Thank you, man. So pretty much for this question here, I give it a thought, and I joined a couple of programs, including RAMP, EOP, Project Success, Hermanos Unidos, SHIP, and within those five, I joined within the first semester, and pretty much I was mostly involved within the SHIP, just because SHIP helped low-income engineers be able to succeed in college and give them the resources that they need to network with individuals within the industry and things like that. And pretty much within SHIP, I also ran for an e-board position, which is pretty much a leadership position within the organization. And I prepared a whole speech for it. And pretty much I got the position. It was a secretary position. And, from there on, I was able to land my first job. After that, I was able to land, it was an upgraded job as a mentor. at Project Success. And then after that, I was able to land the tutor role job here. And now, with all I've done, I was able to land the internship and do well in the interview to impress on within that. So, and now I'm starting that in the summer. And so I'm hoping that that ball rolls until I'm able to get a full-time job. And so far it looks like it's working. So get involved early, please. It's going to benefit you. And it's going to open you up and you will succeed.
So for me, like I said, my involvement on campus during my freshman year of college was not very much. It made me felt like I was alone a lot of the times, but I was able to connect with a bunch of people. And and also I was an undeclared major during my freshman year, so I didn't really know a lot of people because I like was taking general ed courses that meant that I was put in classes with juniors and seniors, and I was kind of hesitant to talk to them because I would see them in class, and then like the next class I wouldn't see them. But since then, I was able to declare into my major, urban and regional planning, during my sophomore year. I was able to join the URP club with other students, and that also made me feel more it makes me more involved on campus. And I was able to connect with people who share the same interests, who are in the same classes as me. And I was able to, connect with them because I see them more often. And I was able to eventually develop a long-term relationship. So I'm really glad that I was able to connect with people from my major before COVID, because I feel like if I didn't have that connection, I feel like I would have been lost on campus. Also, being open to like talking to my professors, going to office hours, reaching out to them for help also helped me a lot. And being involved during my junior year of college, because I talked to one of these professors. She recommended me to another professor who hired me as one of her research assistants. And it was really nice because I got to be paid at the same time and develop that long-term relationship with her. So I think being involved really helps a lot in your academic success. Looking back at my freshman year, I wish I would have been more open about reaching out for help, more open about like talking to people, because that would have definitely helped my academics. And but yeah, that I think the main point is just reach out to your professors, reach out to people. You'll be surprised at like how far it can get you. Thank you.
Awesome. That's some great advice that you guys gave. So this next question is for Michael. What did you consider your strength to be when you entered college? What do you consider to be your strength now? And how can one turn their weaknesses into strengths?
Nice. Okay, so my strength when I entered college was that I was just on it with school. I remember in high school, I like a 4.0, and then coming into college, I maintained that, and I was just like, okay, now here we got to go. We got to study, do this, do that, and just it was all homework, studying, and doing classes. So in terms of determination and motivation to get good grades, that was my strength. Compared to now, I say my strength now is just taking a step away from everything and kind of reflecting on your life, reflecting on everything that you've done. And honestly, looking back at that now, if I would say don't go so hard on academics, I would tell you that, it's college, there's new experiences, there's new things to try out and new things to learn from. Ramp has, some events that you could go to. I never went to them in my freshman year because I was just like so focused on studying. But now I'm gonna consider actually going to some because you just gotta pause life sometimes and just experience things a little bit. time goes by so fast that you only realize it when it's gone. So you just gotta live every day the way you want it, the way you want to. You should set time for studying and doing academics, but you should also realize that that's not your entire life. You shouldn't always be like running 100% towards your goal. Take a pause, take a break, take a breather, relax, experience things that you haven't done before. And that's, something good to do. And one way to overcome your weaknesses would be reflection. Take a breather, look back at your life, look back at what you've done, the things you have done, your accomplishments. There's a one thing that people always say, like, oh yeah, I don't feel accomplished because I haven't reached my goal yet. All right, well, have you taken a look at all the things that have brought you up to this point? What have you done to bring you up to here? What have you accomplished to be here right now and today? And people just like focus on, okay, I haven't reached my goals, so I haven't done anything. No, you've done a lot of things, and a lot of those things have gotten you to this point, and you should appreciate that, and you should understand that you've put in a lot of work. Is there still work to be done? Yeah, but you've done work to get to this point, and that's what's going to help you to reach your goal again. So honestly, everyone has weaknesses. It's okay to be weak. It's not okay to stay weak. You just gotta understand yourself more than anyone. I remember I recently started reflecting on myself because I was doing my PT cast. It's like an application, and it asks you, oh, what have you done in life? Or what is this that you've done in life? And that is what made me stop and be like, oh wow, what have I done in life? Or why do I think like this? Or why do I want this thing? So reflection. That's the best thing you can do right now to understand yourself, because you gotta understand yourself more than anyone else, to be honest. And that's how you can get stronger and overcome those weaknesses.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Michael. And our last question is, reflecting on your college experiences so far, how have your parents' or guardians' perspective changed from when you first started at CPP, and how so? Take it away, Jane.
Thank you, Anthony. So when I reflect on my college experiences so far, I can definitely say that my dad's perspective has completely changed from when I first started at Cal Poly Pomona. Now he's been extremely supportive through my major changes, my career path changes. When I added on a minor, he's seen me when I've been extremely stressed, when I've been extremely discouraged. And I think when I first started at Cal Poly Pomona, he kind of just thought, oh, it's gonna be a quick 4 years in, then out onto your master's, onto your PhD. But when he saw me going through it each year, every year of college up until now, he was, I believe he was hit with the realization that all those goals take an extreme amount of work and perseverance, dedication, and time. So now he's kind of gone into the perspective of work towards what will make you happy in the end, regardless of how long it's going to take, as long as you're happy. So that realization was kind of an eye opener for him, and it gave him a whole new perspective on college and higher education in general.
Awesome. So those are all the questions that I have for the panelists. And then the next thing to do is closing remarks. So I'd like to ask for each of our panelists to give a quick one-line takeaway message that they'd like to share everybody. There isn't any order, so feel free to speak up and share whenever you'd like.
Mine's a two-liner. I'm so sorry. Kind
No
of goes
problem, no
together,
problem.
but it's okay to make mistakes. Life will bring you challenges, and overcoming them will provide you with the experiences that end up making you who you are.
Get involved as soon as you can. And if you haven't already, do so already. Go for it. Get involved on campus, please.
I think for me, it's just don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone.
One thing is just kind of what I said before. Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of. However, staying weak is.
So something that Michael, so sorry, a one-liner. Okay, reflect so that you don't regret later in the future.
All right, so yeah, with that said, I think right now is the Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions or even comments, feel free to type in Zoom or unmute yourself. But don't be shy, feel free to speak up, and it's a judgment-free zone.
We have in the chat, we have Trinity. Wow, thank you all. This has definitely helped. We have Anthony. We have Jane thanking Anthony for moderating. Thank you so much, Anthony. You're doing a great job. If we can all do like a thumbs up emoji for Anthony. Thank you for leading this. Thank you to our presenters too. So thumbs up to our presenter. Thanks for everybody. If we can get a picture for our like newsletter and our social media, if y'all don't mind, turn on your cameras if you feel comfortable or if you're in a space to be able to do so. If not, that's okay. Caitlin will direct us as she takes a picture for social media and our recruiting and newsletter.
All right, everyone, if you can turn on your cameras, if you'd like to. Of course, it is okay if you cannot. I am going to make sure that I'm going to take a couple of photos. So I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And one more. 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Caitlin. And Christian has added a link in the chat if you can share your reflections with us about this panel. We'll also have a panel next week, a week from today, on first-gen graduate students. So you heard Michael is applying to PT school, so he's gone to that panel. And if any of you are interested in grad school, you can check it out, even if you're thinking about it, and get some information from them. And if I can get just like another round of applause for our awesome presenters and moderators today. Thank you for sharing your time and sharing your stories. And like Anthony mentioned, sharing your struggles and vulnerabilities, because that's not easy, with us so that we can also learn from that. Does RAMP staff, Laura, Dustin, any other announcements that you have?
Not an announcement, but I definitely want to thank everybody for attending, but particularly our moderator and our panelists for sharing your experiences, sharing your stories. And again, using the word vulnerable, being willing to share where you hit some obstacles or some difficulties, and what you learned from those experiences. Thanks for giving shout out to RAMP and EOP and Project Success and the other programs that ultimately, exist to help students. So once again, just thank you, everybody.
All right, have a good rest of your day and keep an eye out on the newsletter for any RAMP events.
Yes, thank you, everyone.